All right. So I saw Solo this tonight, just a couple of hours ago, and I enjoyed the movie. I think I was one of those people who said, we don't need a Solo movie. Oh, we don't need an Obi-Wan movie. But at the same time, I would have been cool to see what they can come up with, and I would have had high hopes that it actually turned out good. I go into see a movie, I'm optimistic most of the time. So I go in there, I'm just like, okay, let's see if they do this. You know what I mean? But I enjoyed the movie. I have to say I did. It's a weird thing. The prequels they do nowadays, I would say for like the last, I don't know, I'm gonna say, okay, the last 18 years. Every prequel that's come out for like almost the last 18 years, maybe a little bit more, it feels weird. We're seeing characters that we already know that exist in movies, and they're going back and they're expanding on them. It's a little different when you're doing something kind of like Bond, James Bond, or Jack Ryan, when you do younger Jack Ryan and stuff. When it's something that was such a pinnacle of filmmaking, where it inspired generations and decades worth of films and storytelling, not just in films, but cartoons, video games, novels, everything. It's different. You know what I mean? It really depends, because when something reaches a certain level of success and inspiration in pop culture, when you try to make younger versions of that and tell older stories, you get replaced. I remember watching Young Indiana Jones as a kid, and to be honest with you, it was cool to see. Like, I would imagine, oh, this is Indiana Jones when he was, younger and stuff like that. But you can't help but just to want to see Harrison Ford. If it's not really the young version of Harrison Ford when he was in his teens or something, it's kind of hard to accept that person as being Indiana Jones. So that's what I'm comparing it to. But with that said, I have to say I enjoyed this movie. Now, it's different than Rogue One. Rogue One having a bunch of characters, except for Tarkin. They use somebody, they digitally enhance this person's face. But most of the characters in that, and except for Vader, were new. So they only had Vader you can do. There's somebody in a suit, you're still using James Earl Jones' voice. It works. Vader's Vader. You know what I mean? That's different. But it was a bunch of characters we didn't know. In this, you have Han, Chewie. Chewie's somebody in a suit, so he works really well. And I think that's the reason why a lot of people probably like Chewie in this movie. And he has a lot to do. He really does. But they like Chewie so much is because you can't mess it up the way you can with another person with facial expressions. Has to walk a certain way, talk a certain way, sound a certain way, definitely look a certain way. You know what I mean? But with Han and Lando and a few surprises in the movie too, it's like, I don't know if we should be doing this, but I'm not going to get into spoiler territory too much. I hope not. I hope I don't at all, really. But let me make this quick. Overall, I enjoyed the movie. I really did. I know they had some problems with the directors before, Lord and Miller, and they had to get rid of them, and Ron Howard came. Ron Howard, seasoned vet at this directing thing, he did his thing. I like shots of this. I like the shots doing the action. You could tell what was going on. Ships flying, all the Millennium Falcon scenes when they flying and stuff like that, fantastic. It's fantastic. There's even a part where they're doing the Kressel run. They're doing that, and we get to see it. And the thing is, they start playing the music that they played in Empire Strikes Back when they were flying through the asteroid field, and I started grinning so hard, and I got the goosebumps, and I was sitting forward in my chair, and it's just it pulled me in. I'm like, this is Star Wars. The music helps. The music helps. So all that helps. But I enjoyed this movie. I think Ron Howard did a fantastic job. It's fun. The movie's really fun. It's loaded with action. Action scene, a little dialogue here and interacting with people. Action scene again. Alden Ehrenreich, or Alden, however you say his last name, I'm forgetting right now. He did magnificent. He really did. I mean, who out there do you think can imitate Harrison Ford and really bring Harrison Ford to life once again? Who? I would like to hear your suggestions. I really would. But I don't have time for that right now. I mean, go ahead. You can leave them in the comments. I would really like to hear it. But we don't have time to talk about that or think about that right now. What I'm saying is, they chose him. He did a good job. I'm going to tell you, physically, he might not look like Harrison Ford in the face, but his physical mannerisms they were all there. He walked like Harrison Ford did as Han Solo. He leans against the wall like he does. He stands like he does. He shoot like Han Solo shoots. So he did a pretty good job. He really did. And it didn't seem like he tried to imitate him too much. He just tried to stay true to what that character probably was like at a younger age. And it worked for me. It really did. I was pleased. I'm like, man, he's doing great. He's doing great. Within the first half an hour, I was like, I'm liking what he's doing. He's doing great. Donald Glover as Lando, fantastic. He even brought out Lando's voice a couple times when he's talking and doing certain things. You could hear he's imitating how Lando's voice goes and stuff like that. Younger version of Lando, it works. It works. I really like Lando's droid. It's a droid in there named L3. I really liked her a lot. And there's some stuff that she talks about, like the relationship between her and Lando, which is what people are talking about with Lando's sexuality here. Doesn't necessarily mean he's like bisexual or gay. It just means whatever it is, whoever it is, no matter what the species or the type of whatever they are, that Lando can be attracted to it. But I don't care about that. I really don't care. I mean, I really don't. But Donald Glover did a great job. Alden did a great job. Woody Harrelson, I liked his character a lot in this. I liked everybody. Emilia Clarke, I liked her in this. I didn't like her in Terminator Genisys because I just thought she was just too cute and just too cute to play Sarah Connor. Like, she's supposed to be a hardened Sarah Connor again, or at least a skillful this time. She just was too cute. Something was too cute about it. Not to say Linda Hamilton wasn't cute, because Linda Hamilton was really gorgeous. I mean, in Terminator 2, she was a little rough because she was tougher and rougher, but she's gorgeous. I thought she was gorgeous, especially in the first Terminator and some other movies too. But whatever. But let me move on. Everybody did great in this. Everybody. All the performance. Paul Bettany as what was his name? I gotta look up his name real quick. I forgot what his name was, but Paul Bettany, he came across as vicious, terrifying. He played that role so well. If you didn't see the movie yet, wait till you see it. That dude can play a sinister type of, here we go, Dryden. Yes, Paul Bettany playing Dryden. He played him very well. There's a girl in here who plays a character, I think the last name was Nest, of course. It was cool. I think all the performances were good in this movie. It really was. The action in this was really good. The flying battles, space battles and stuff like that, that was good. Chase scenes was good. It was a good movie. Overall, it was good. It just doesn't feel like it was needed. The fact that it was Han Solo, he's one of my favorite characters. I remember when I bought the collector set of VHS of Star Wars. They were saying this is the last time you can ever see Star Wars again or own the original Star Wars again. I was like, what? They're not going to sell the movie anymore? Didn't know the special editions were coming out. Didn't know they were going to change it and the special editions was going to be all that you could buy. I think my nephew still has those VHS tapes because it's hard to find the original versions now, which is my favorite. Special editions added some stuff. Some stuff was cool, but no, I'd rather watch the originals. But I remember when I bought that, I started watching Star Wars because I don't think I ever seen it. I was like 14. I don't think I ever seen the first Star Wars movie completely from beginning to end. I think I always came in certain parts when I was a little kid. But I remember Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi like the back of my hand. But the one thing I noticed about that movie was Han Solo was way different than everybody else. He seemed like somebody from our universe, our reality, put into that movie. And just, was there for a year because he talked different than everybody. He acted different and everything. It was funny. You can tell they improvised a lot on the script or the lines delivery when they were shooting the film. Because the way Harrison Ford did that character was great. And I thought Alden brung some of that into this role as well. Overall, I enjoyed the movie. I think it's a fun time. If you're a massive Star Wars fan, I think you're going to enjoy this. If you're one of those people who says, oh no, I didn't like this movie, so it's ruined. Everything's ruined now. You're an idiot. You're an idiot. Just because you don't like one movie doesn't mean everything's ruined. Because you still like the old ones, right? Then it's not ruined. If you say that a new movie ruins the old ones for you, then you really are taking this stuff too seriously. This is not all your life is about. You have a life to live. If you have kids, you don't have kids yet, or whatever. I don't know. The Last Jedi wasn't that terrible. It was a lot of stuff we didn't want. Shoot, it had a lot of stuff in there I didn't want. But it happened that way. Carrie Fisher died in real life, for goodness sakes. And she was supposed to be in the next movie. Okay? Now they got to figure out what they're going to do with that. There's going to be some fans mad whether they recast her, use somebody else, or they just say that she died off screen or something. you know, people are going to be mad. But what can we do? The woman passed, and it was out of our control. But anyway, back to this movie, Solo. I really appreciate it. I thought it was nice. I hear that the Obi-Wan movies are go. Hope it's good. They're going to get, yeah, Ewan McGregor to play Obi-Wan again. That's fantastic. It works that way. It can work because I accepted him as a young Obi-Wan in the prequels. It was fine. He fits. He's great in that role. I think he really is. But oh, another thing I have to say. I think some people are getting Star Wars fatigue. There's a lot of Star Wars stuff coming. We getting a movie every year almost, or every other year. And then we had some anthology series, Rogue One. Then we had Last Jedi, and now less than a year later we got Solo. Maybe they do need to take a break. We're getting a Star Wars television series. And it's a new set of movies after Episode 9. Here's my thing. I don't think it's too much Star Wars for me. It might be too much too soon. Like, give it at least a year between each film, but I don't think it's too much for me. The reason why is I've always been deep into a bunch of different Star Wars lore. Because there's been novels. I haven't read any of the novels, but I used to read the back of them and just go through and read a couple pages, see what it was like when I go to bookstores and stuff. There's hundreds and hundreds of novels. I even remember making a list because I was going to get every novelist from Splinter in the Mind's Eye all the way up to whatever they currently have and read them. That was like my goal. You know what I mean? I was going to read the Bible front to back, and I was going to read Star Wars novels. But I've always had video games since I was a little kid. There's been video games, Nintendo, Super Nintendo, Nintendo 64, like Shadows of the Empire, Jedi Outcast, the Dark Force game, Jedi Academy, Knights of the Old Republic, Star Wars game, Rebel Strike, Rogue Leader, Rogue Squadron. I played Star Wars games. I read Star Wars comics. I watched the Star Wars movies. Then they came out with the prequels. Then they had the Clone Wars series. And then they had Rebels. I've always had a lot of Star Wars around. So, and I've liked and enjoyed all of it, especially the video games. That was like tied into the movies. Stuff happened that they didn't show in the movies and stuff like that. So I don't think I got too much of it. I think I'm used to it. It's just more movies. And I just hope that they're good. You know, so that's probably one of the reasons why it doesn't bother me, because I've been so deep in so much of it. I think other people who, you know, saw the originals, and then we got the prequels, and even kids that grew up on the prequels, and then they saw the originals too. And then they brought out, you know, Force Awakens and said they're going to make more. Didn't expect a television series coming, a Rogue One, a Solo story, and Obi-Wan. So it could be too much for them. I can understand for some people. For me, it doesn't bother me. They just have to be good. And no matter how many movies they come out with, and if they mess stuff up, I still have my originals. And even the prequels. I enjoyed the prequels because I was young and they were good. You know what I mean? When the prequels came out, I couldn't believe I was getting more Star Wars. So I was happy about it. But really, I grew up on the originals, and I always have those. Empire Strikes Back is still my favorite Star Wars movie. And it's probably my favorite movie of all time, really. It just, I can watch it at any time, and it just really always hits me in the heart. I'm just like, I love this movie. I love it. I love it. It's great. But I kind of say Star Wars, all three, first trilogy as a whole. Like when I say favorite movie, Star Wars. I don't know which one, but that. And if I have to pick one, probably Empire Strikes Back. I don't know. It's just that good. It's that good of a movie. But anyway, yeah, I say I enjoyed the movie. I hope everybody else enjoys it if you didn't see it. If you don't enjoy it, oh well. You still have the ones that you do enjoy. And let's stop taking this stuff and being too hard on it. Let's stop taking it too serious. If we don't enjoy it, don't enjoy it. It's just a movie. It's just a movie. For some people, it feels like life, but it's not. Trust me. If they never made them, you would still be here right now. You wouldn't have killed yourself. Like, hey, something feels wrong. I think there should have been a movie named Star Wars, and it should have been my life. Bow. No, it wouldn't happen, okay? Goodness. Relax. But anyway, yeah, I enjoyed the movie. I thought it was good. I actually can't wait to see it again. I really can't. And fair warning, it didn't start off slow. It's just that for me to really feel this movie like, yes, I'm starting to like this, it took some time. I will say this. Every 15 minutes, I got more and more invested in the movie. That's what it felt like. Like, the first half an hour, I was like, okay, this is interesting. Got to introduce ourselves to these characters and see how everybody knows everybody. About the time that, I don't want to spoil too much because I was trying to do a non-spoiler review, but I'll put it like this. When you start seeing Han and Chewie together, from there on, I started like really enjoying this movie. Like, I really enjoyed this movie, and a lot of the like funny parts in the movie really worked because they weren't trying too hard. It didn't seem like they were trying too hard, but the movie gets better as it goes on. I think once you get over the first half an hour, you're just like, okay, come on, move on with the movie. Make me feel good about this movie. It really moves on. There's a lot of action scenes, so if you like a lot of action, you're gonna get money's worth. But anyway, yeah, that's it. That's my review for Solo, Star Wars movie. Hope you enjoyed it. I'll talk too long again. It's kind of hard to keep these short now. See you next time.